All right, people. I'm sure by now all of you would have heard of this movie, Citizen Vigilante. This movie is upsetting a lot of Islamist, wokey, lefty lunatics. Look at this. Patrick Pat David posted this, and there's a reason why this movie is #1. I think this has become the best-selling or the top-ranking independent movie in the history of filmmaking. He's saying, watch Citizen Vigilante last night. There's a reason why it's #1 on Apple. It taps into the rage millions of people are feeling because their own governments won't protect them or their kids. If this movie was not covering the rape gang scandals in Europe, predominantly perpetrated by people of non-native origins, then this character could have been played by Liam Neeson and it would have been perfectly fine. Actually, roles reversed. In fact, if the lead character was a non-white person avenging the rape of a non-white person at the hands of a white person, this movie would have become the darling of the left. They would have showered it with awards after awards. But no, because it covers the truth, because we have seen how non-native Europeans are raping native Europeans at scale, which most people still can't even genuinely comprehend. That's how bad it is, especially in Germany, France, Britain. In Britain, we had the grooming gang scandal. In Germany, it's mostly Afghans, the Middle Easterns, and Africans who are 10, 20, 30 times overrepresented in these violent crimes. So look at this. Sneeko, you're an immigrant from the Middle East. This movie is about killing you. What an idiot. These people, there was a tweet that went viral and it has since become a meme, which goes something like this, and I'm paraphrasing it. It goes something like, the left pretends not to understand the discourse, thereby making the discourse impossible. It's like, why can't they get this point? It's not about immigrants. It's about criminal immigrants getting killed, who are, as I said, disproportionately overrepresented. Look at this. I've shared this stat many times. Let me share that again. This is a situation of gang rapes, which actually this movie covers. Germans make up 88% of the overall population, yet they account for only 33% of all gang rapes committed. Foreigners make up 12%, yet they account for 67% of all gang rapes. And if you further break it down, then the picture becomes even more damning or uglier. If you break it down, look at this. Out of those 12%, only 2% are made up of Afghans and Africans, and they account for 34% of all gang rapes. So this movie actually covers, so have a look at this. So even Islamists are losing it, but also Piers Morgan is not happy about that either. So he interviews the movie director, who's German, Uwe Boll. Let's have a listen.
Have you heard personally from Elon Musk? Have you talked to him about this?
No, not really. We just had exchanges as messages, basically.
And what did he say? What did Elon Musk say to you?
No, it was only that he liked what he saw, and if we could play the movie on X, right? And then we said, yeah, whatever. If it's like a short-term period, we maybe can do it. So, but I need to say one thing: this Syrian refugee family, where the son was a rapist, he did the gang rape. That's basically on a case what was in Hamburg a few years ago, and I think stuff like this incites violence in the population, because if you have 8 rapists and they don't get prosecuted, they don't go to jail, then people getting this kind of vigilante fantasies, right? They think like, what the fuck? Why people don't go to jail if they rape a 15 years old girl?
Non-migrant rapists don't go to jail as well.
No, they don't.
Jeffrey Epstein got away with it.
In all your talks today.
Look at this. What a clown. What a clown. Look at the stats that I just showed you. Guys, have a look at these stats again. That story of that German migrant is not an isolated one. Look at this. Less than 2% of the German population is made up of Afghans and Africans, yet they account for 34% of all gang rapes. This movie is specifically about gang rapes. And 12% are foreigners, and they account for 67% of all gang rapes. And this Islamist, this closet Islamist, actually he's not even a closeted Islamist. Wow. He said very harsh Islamist things before, that are written in the Quran, that all infidels or non-Muslims are worst of creatures. But he has since backtracked and he says, oh, I used to think differently. What do you mean? I actually would love to ask him this question, Mehdi Hassan. So if you were wrong then, so do you mean that the Quran is wrong today then? Because that's written in the Quran. Anyway, Look at him. He's such a despicable person.
Day. You say all Muslims are whatever victims, non-stop victims of right-wing attacks.
I never said that.
But they're
Oh, you never said
you
it.
said that.
I
You
didn't say
implied
all
that in
Muslims.
everything you said. No. And so
I didn't
the
say all
reality
Muslims. I
is
said there are rape
that
gangs
in
which
my
include
film,
Muslims.
in my film, he goes against criminals, not Muslims, criminals. And
No,
I
he didn't.
know
He
a
murdered
lot
an
of-
entire family.
So, and that's the thing.
No, he didn't.
kills
That's not true,
criminals.
Uwe.
So, no, he
No, he
kills
killed the
criminals.
entire family, Uwe. You're lying. He killed the
Yes,
entire
and that's-
family. What are you
that's
talking about?
No, I'm not lying. He shoots the entire
Were
family.
they all
and I-
criminals? Was the girl a criminal? Was it?
Okay, so it's very easy to answer because, of course, this is a vigilante fantasy movie. Okay, you can have hundreds of movies where the entire family gets killed. The only problem Mehdi Hassan has is that why the people are actually celebrating that. That actually shows you the mood of Western society. That, oh, you know what? Instead of showing sympathy for the girl who said, yes, well, she deserved to be gang raped because, you know, she wore revealing clothes, because that's, again, it's a very typical reason. People like Bushra Sheikh, Muslim activists, have actually made these claims that, oh, Western women, they need to wear a hijab, they need to wear a burqa, they need to wear the niqab to avoid getting raped. That a lot of Muslims have said it. So people have heard this over and over again for 10, 15 years, which is why when it's shown in the movie where a vigilante actually kills the entire family, and you might say, well, hang on, even though she said it, she shouldn't be killed. The father defended his son. He didn't show any remorse. He said, well, that's Islam. Because we've heard this from Muslims over and over again. I debated with Daniel Hakikachu back in 2021, and he said it. He openly defended this. He said, well, this is what happens. The Quran says it. This is what happens when women wear revealing clothes. They get molested. That is their line of reasoning, and Western society has heard it for far too long, which is why instead of showing sympathy for the family that is getting butchered, people are saying, you know what? Maybe that's okay. It's the same way you could ask, should PDFs be murdered by vigilantes? Our law, our society, everything we know about law and order says, no, that shouldn't happen. There should be proportionate response. There should be proportionate. If someone takes life, only then you should take someone's life. But I don't think you would find any person in the West, or actually other than far-left wokey lunatics who live in their own bubbles, most people will actually say, you know what? If someone gets justice in prison and he's a PDF, I don't care. That basically, Mehdi Hassan, you dirty Islamist scumbag, that basically shows how much people have had enough of people like you who have been making... He's actually a lot more cryptic. He wouldn't say that, oh, Western women who wear revealing clothes deserve to be raped. He wouldn't say that, but he would never call out those people who do say that. There are literally hundreds of Muslims who say that. So yeah, it's just a fantasy movie. So there's no need to ask him, hey, what about those people? It's a fantasy movie.
Sister a criminal?
No, but she was okay with the rape, and she saw the rape as a witness. So,
you support killing people for having...
No, not support. This is fantasy. This is fantasy movie, Mehdi Hassan. People are reacting to it because people are saying this. See how crafty he is.
You don't like.
Don't forget, it's a fictional movie. It's a fictional movie. And in movies,
but you're talking in real life now. You're saying he killed only criminals. I pointed out he didn't kill only criminals, and you said, but she had it coming.
You said basically what you say is that it doesn't really matter. It was just a random Syrian family. He goes in and executes them. Total bullshit.
I didn't say random. You're lying. I specifically said the son was a rapist and he killed the entire family. And that clip is being shown as a moderate response. I've said this.
No, it's not being shown as a moderate response. This clip is basically an excerpt of the movie, and people are saying, you know what? Fair enough. As I said, if a PDF person gets beaten up in prison, everyone would say legally that's wrong. It shouldn't happen. But you wouldn't see people crying over that. It just wouldn't happen.
Multiple times, Uwe. That clip has been used online as a moderate response. You should condemn that. Well, you should condemn it.
No, it's a movie. We're not going to condemn that. It's a movie, and people are reacting to it. Of course, it's a movie.
You should condemn it. If I made something, if I wrote something that was being used by far-right people to incite violence, I would say...
The reality is that the people are fed up with the situation how it is. The migration
Which of the people, Uwe? You don't speak for the people.
We need
people
to
are fed up with Jeffrey Epstein.
Billions of people are looking at it. Okay, maybe not billions, maybe a billion. Actually, it won't be an overstatement, but hundreds of millions of people. The movie is doing really well in the reviews, even though even though it's an independent movie, it's not a big budget Hollywood movie. It's doing so well. I think it's become the biggest hit in the history of independent filmmaking.
Should they go around and kill Donald Trump and Republicans? Obviously not.
Oh, but these people wouldn't cry over it. We've seen Charlie Kirk didn't do anything wrong, but a lot of these lefty wokes, they celebrated. They were dancing. So save us your moral policing. Nobody cares. Again, look, as I said, guys, it actually doesn't matter anymore. We don't care about them. So do you want me to show you why people are thinking like that? Why people have had enough? What Uwe Boll said. Look at this. This just came out yesterday. Do you want to hear it? Let me have a look at this. This beautiful young family. This is a Swedish couple with their 2 Swedish children. This guy was a police officer. Outrage in Scandinavia after a Swedish man was beaten to death by a gang of Africans while at a fan zone watching Norway versus Côte d'Ivoire. I don't know. I can never pronounce that country's name. He was an off-duty policeman, guys. He was an off-duty policeman and leaves behind a wife and 2 daughters. He went out to watch a football match. Diversity. This is how diversity is killing everyone. Let me show you something else. It's not Tommy Robinson. It's not me. It's not this movie, Citizen Vigilante. All of this is happening because people are seeing that. People are seeing what's happening on the streets. Look at this. These Dutch people watching their match. I covered this video, not the Netherlands versus Morocco, and Moroccans living in the Netherlands were celebrating the defeat of the Netherlands at the hands of Morocco. Look at this. Not only just that, not only they were celebrating, they were also attacking who were wearing Dutch colors. Look at this. These Moroccans. This is not in Morocco. This is in the Netherlands. So you can't even support your own team in your own country. And when you go to watch a football match, you get murdered. You get murdered, guys. Murdered. This is why people have had enough. This is why people are saying, you know what? I don't care. I don't care. Actually, you know what? Let me say something you might not like. Actually, it might not be. I don't know. I've had enough. I'm not going to mince my words. Look at this. This is happening almost every day. It started happening here in Australia. Look at this, guys. This happened in Australia just yesterday. As I said, happening every day almost.
A 15-year-old boy has been...
This is the 15-year-old boy he's talking about.
...stabbed and left to die outside a hospital after a shocking gang attack in Melbourne's north.
I'm not going to play the whole video. I'll include the link in the description if you want to watch the whole report. All I'm going to say is that in this entire saga, not a single Aussie was involved. And you know what I'm seeing from people underneath these videos? The comments that I'm reading? You know what Aussies are saying? I don't care if they kill each other. I'm going to say that I care that it is happening on our streets. It's completely unnecessary. It's an imported problem that can be resolved. All it requires is a good, strong political will. But we're not going to have it while we have these loser politicians in charge of our countries. There's a saying in Urdu, in the Pakistani language, that when God wants to destroy a nation, he puts incompetent leaders in charge. And everywhere you look around you, everywhere you look, whether that's Britain, that's why they can't hold a prime minister, because they're all incompetent. They're all mediocre, moderate, mediocre politicians. It's the same everywhere you look at around the Western world. How come these countries, only up until 20, 30 years ago, have gone from being the most prosperous countries to this, where natives are being butchered on their own streets for celebrating their own football teams? How did that happen? It's because of our incompetent politicians, our leaders. Nothing's going to change unless we change how we govern our countries. We need to get rid of them.